Hey friends, how are you? Hope you're well and you've had a good week. Sorry there was no video last week, but we were just coming back from a week's holiday, and we arrived home, I think about sort of 3:30 Friday afternoon, and I was just so tired. I was like, nah. And it's just kind of taken me the week with various things happening while we're away. Like the hall was being painted, like the top hall, the landing, the bottom hall. And then we were also waiting on new carpets to come in, and they came in on Tuesday. So it's just kind of everything's been muddled up. So I just decided, right, okay, I'm not going to, you know, put any videos out. I did, obviously, my book and a bake went out yesterday, which I was really chuffed to manage to get that one out. But I decided I'm not going to sort of deal with any videos this week apart from that one. So yeah. I have been reading though. I managed to sort of read two and a half books while we were away. So the first book that I completed while we were away was Evie's Little Black Book by Hannah Pearl. I won this one in a giveaway on Instagram. It was alright. I am not raving about it. So we meet Evie, who has been invited to this wedding by her teenage crush and her young adult crush, and she's absolutely distraught about this, and she decides that all her relationships so far have not been ideal, or at least she feels they haven't been ideal, and she wants to know what's wrong with her that she can't kind of sustain a relationship. So her idea is to look through her little black book, is more like a flowery notebook, and to revisit some of her, to get back in touch with some of her ex-boyfriends to see if she can work out where she went wrong. In essence, it was a sweet book. It was, it was nice to see her growth and her to realise actually maybe there isn't anything wrong with me. Maybe maybe I did learn things from each relationship that I'm only now realising. So it was nice. I just kind of, maybe I'm too old for a book like this, it was just, I just couldn't connect with Evie as a character, and I was just like, oh, so I think I end up giving this a 2.5 or 3 out of 5. It wasn't a great star rating. I'm pleased to have read it. I'm glad I read it, or am I glad I read it? Maybe not. But yeah, so that was that one. I then read Make Do and Mend in Applewell by Lilac Mills. I enjoyed this one. This was a really nice story. So we meet Lottie, and Lottie loves to repurpose furniture. Anything she can repurpose, she will do, and she's very, very good at it. Her friends persuade her to start an Instagram account, and it really takes off, and which is great. But her husband Henry he loses his job for the second time in 6 months, but he doesn't tell her. He keeps it a secret, and because he wants to try and get a new job before he tells her. But Lottie is twigged that there's something wrong that he's not telling her. And of course, her mind goes to probably the most obvious, and she thinks he's having an affair, etc. And he keeps bringing her back gifts of things that he thinks that she can repurpose. Like he brought her back a rowing boat, because his son had wanted a new bed and they couldn't afford it, but he thought she could repurpose the boat into a new bed. So there are things like that, and it's he's quite a sweet person, as Henry. He really is, but he needed to be a bit more. I can understand why he didn't want to tell her he'd lost his job again, but he needed to be a bit more forthcoming. And I really liked Lottie. I thought she under the circumstances she was in, I thought she did a really good job, and I loved to hear about all her repurposing things that she made and did, and how that side of her life really took off and things like that. So I really enjoyed it. It's a really sweet sort of, is it a Christmassy book? It is sort of a Christmassy book. There's Christmas kind of in the build up, but no, I really, really enjoyed it. Then on my Kindle, I read Homecoming or Hometown by Wendy Rich Stetson. Wendy Rich reached out to me and asked me would I like to review her book for her. I have read it. I'm going to do a separate review on it. So I read that as well. And I'm just going to say I really enjoyed it. It was good. I then picked up a book that has been hyped. That everybody is going, oh, I love this book. Love this author. Yeah, I didn't. And that was Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I slogged my way through this, guys. I didn't enjoy it. It got a 1.5 out of 5 for me. I couldn't connect with the characters. I didn't particularly care for the plot line. It just did not grab me at all. I was hoping that it was going to suddenly go, yeah, they're really, really enjoying this. This is really good. It never got there. For those of you that haven't read this, this is about Nora, who is an agent, a literary agent, and she is cutthroat. Her nickname's the Shark, and she meets Charlie, who is an editor, and they don't particularly hit it off. In the first meeting, and then a while later, Nora's sister asks her to go on holiday tour to this town in, I think it's the North Carolinas, called Sunshine Falls, which is a setting for a book that Nora was the agent for. And lo and behold, who's there but Charlie? And it's Nora and Charlie's, shall we say, romance. I just didn't get it. I didn't feel the connection. I honestly did not feel the connection between the two of them. It didn't ring true to me. And then there was also a second sort of subplot running where that Nora's relationship with her sister at times is kind of, with Libby, is kind of not damaged, but it's not as close as she wants it to be, and she thinks there's something going on, and it just was like, oh, it just felt very, very flat for me, I'm afraid. So yeah, that was a bum. I then picked up on my Kindle, I picked up The Guest List by Fern Michaels. This was a NetGalley read for me. I think they must be republishing it because it comes out at the end of July or this month, and I'm romping through it. I'm really, really enjoying it. I think it's a really fun, really interesting story. I want to know what happens next. So I'm really happy with that one. And then last night in bed, I picked up, I spun my wheel on my phone, and it came up with Christmas Wishes by Sue Moorcroft. I only managed to read last night 22 pages before I had to put it down because I was so tired. But at the moment, the premise of this is really good. We meet Hannah, who has a boutique shop in Stockholm, and her brother's friend Nico arrives one day looking like a down and out, and she takes him out for dinner, and then he comes to her shop the next day, etc., etc. So I think there's going to be a start of a wee romance there, but I know that from the back of it, she ends up having to come back to Britain, and that's where Nico is living. He's just in Stockholm for a visit. So yeah, I'm so far, after 22 pages, that's good. If I get that one finished this weekend, which possibly I will, or even into next week, I will then pick up The Christmas Ranch by RaeAnne Thayne. This was one of my numbers for the TBR bingo that Sarah from the Bookish Knitter does. I have actually read the other number that she pulled. I read the book of that, so I'm going to read this one, and I will pick up another one within my TBR pile to slot in for the one that I have already read. So that's my reading for over the weekend. I think I'll definitely get the Guest List read, and the Cathy Bramble read. I think I'll get those two read this weekend, definitely. Other plans for this weekend, we'll watch some rugby. I've got laundry to do. I would like to give my room a kind of deep clean hoover because it really needs it. It's about time it got that. Laundry, ubiquitous laundry to do. I don't mind the laundry part, I don't do the ironing part, just don't iron. Nah, don't do that. So yeah, so that's if it's a nice weekend, maybe get to sit out in the garden. I don't know, but we'll see. That'd be quite nice. This afternoon I'm going out for a coffee with my other half, so that'll be lovely. Get to spend a wee bit of time with him. But that's it for this video, friends. Please let me know down in the comments if you read any of the books that I've mentioned or what you thought of them. It would be really nice to know. What are you reading this weekend? Yeah, please tell me. If there are any books that you think I should put in, I'm going to put this out there. If there's any book that you think I should read for my TBR bingo to fill that slot that I've already read, please let me know down in the comments. If I actually have it on my pile, I will read it. And if not, I will go and sort of see if I can get it. If there's anything that really, you know, it's like, oh yes. And also, what are your plans for the weekend? I would love to know. But until my next video, friends, stay safe and happy reading. Bye. As a last note, I forgot to say Happy Canada Day to all my friends in Canada and family in Canada today. Hope you have a really good day. And then as an early one, Happy 4th of July to all my American friends and family. I hope you have a really good day. But whatever you do, friends, have a good weekend, stay safe and happy reading. Bye.